Not all heavy shoppers shop from branded shops and supermarkets. You can get the best deals at local markets or thrift shops. While not everyone is able to get precious deals, those who do are truly lucky. One such person who thought to have got lucky in thrift shopping was Priscilla Bailey from Plymouth, Massachusetts. She was a retired woman who was very passionate about shopping. A remarkable incident in her shopping experience happened in January 2018 when she bought a vibrant blue crystal ornament. What looked like a decoration item was about to turn into a dark reality. So, what exactly happened? Was there a ghost trapped inside? No, but Priscilla did discover something unusual. The blue ornament looked mesmerizing and was built from an eye-catching blue glass with metal covered in engravings. As Priscilla returned home and started looking at the ornament closely, she found something strange inside it, as if something was moving inside. Again, not a ghost, but something like sand. What she thought as a decoration item was not at all lightweight and empty. Not giving it much thought, though, she hung the decoration item in her kitchen. One day, Priscilla's daughter came to visit her. When she got to know about the new crystal that her mum had bought, she instantly wanted to see it. Priscilla's daughter, Kat, was a huge fan of glass art and even set up her own glass-blowing business as well. As soon as she examined it, she got to know that the item wasn't a mass-produced thing and was probably custom-made. She couldn't believe that Priscilla had got such a precious item for such a low price. Kat also noticed that the item was oddly heavy and so started examining it with the help of a flashlight. As both mother and daughter got a closer look, they realized that the item contained within was something sand-like which moved as the object moved. Their eyes widened with horror at the thought of the sand being someone's ashes. It was quite a possibility that someone decided to have their loved one's ashes stored inside a beautiful creation to be hung on the tree every year. If that's what they thought it was, this was indeed a sad incident that something so precious ended up at a thrift shop. Then and there, Priscilla and Kat decided to find the owner and hand the crystal back. There was a good chance that the item got accidentally donated to the thrift store, and how heartbroken the real owner would be on the fact that they'd lost something of such great sentimental value. To begin with the search, they first contacted the shop owner, who informed them that most of the donations came from the town or its nearby communities. This information could help them narrow down the search. Priscilla then called the police to inquire if any such missing report was filed from the nearby areas or town, but unfortunately the cops had no such complaint registered. The police ensured that they would be in touch if they received any such information. The next best thing was to contact the media. They reached out to a few media outlets and also did an interview with the Boston Globe. Further, they posted about the ornament to their social media accounts in the hopes that someone might hear about it and get in touch. A few days later, a woman named Connie contacted Priscilla. She wasn't the owner of the crystal heart ornament, but owned a similar-looking one, only different in color. Connie's glass heart was very similar to Priscilla's in shape, size, and metal engravings, but had a brown-colored glass instead of vibrant blue. The brown ornament, too, was heavy and carried sand-like substance inside. Looking at the size of both these ornaments, one possibility could be that the ashes were divided among loved ones, or maybe such structures were used to store ashes of pets. It didn't take much time after Connie uploaded her picture in the social media that she received a comment from another woman that her aunt found a similar glass heart, that the ash was not from some animal or human, but indeed from a volcano. Apparently, the ash inside the ornament was made from an active volcano, Mount St. Helens in Skamania County, Washington. The concept came from ancient Egypt, where volcano ash was used as a key component in glass decoration manufacturing. A little search on the internet then revealed a glass company called the original Mount St. Helens Volcanic Ash Glassworks that had been making glass art from ash since 1980. This came as a great relief to Priscilla and her daughter. Though this company's glasswork wasn't exactly the same as the Blue Heart, now there was a huge chance that the ash was from a volcano and not a dead animal. Priscilla still chooses to hang her spooky little friend in her kitchen. As much as she admires the blue crystal heart, she hopes to hear from its former owner someday to clarify her questions on the origin of the crystal. As we say, whatever happens, happens for good. Priscilla learned her lesson to be a bit more attentive when she goes on our shopping sprees. Priscilla's story isn't the only weird shopping story out there. There are a lot more bizarre things you can find in sales and charity shops. In 2018, a computer programmer came across an old VHS tape while he was thrift shopping in California. This was a regular tape, but with a weird smiley on it. The label said, "Surprise." This tempted the man to pick up the tape and see what it had to offer. He pulled out his old VCR player and played the tape. The tape offered a pleasant surprise and played Rick Astley's 1987 hit Never Gonna Give You Up. With an old-school vibe, the recording filled the man with nostalgia. The tape was at least a decade old, and the thrift shop gave another kind of antique thing to the programmer. Sometimes thrift shops sell some very bizarre items, and people still find joy in buying and owning these mystic and terrifying items. One such item we came across was discovered by a Reddit user, Max, who posted it online. Max came across this possessed Ming face-looking vase at a flea market. Redditors in the comments section were very able to track down its origin to the ceramic artist who makes all kinds of ceramics, such as teacups and sugar bowls with terrifying faces on them. These ceramics were easily available on his website, but at much higher prices, with some items costing more than $100. Max might have missed out on bargains at the flea market, but then not everyone would want to own a terrifying-looking vase sitting in the living room. Women love purses, especially the designer ones, which set them apart from the usual ones available in the market. But one very unique, rather bizarre purse found in a high street market was in the shape of a crocodile foot. It was up for sale in an antique store. While crocodile skin leather is pretty prevalent in the fashion industry for bags and purposes, making one which actually looks like a crocodile foot comes for $75 was way too much. Moreover, who would want to carry such an item around? Not just bags or purses, you can find unique dresses too in the street shops. A woman found a very fascinating dress in the sack of donated items in a thrift shop. Problem was, it was difficult to decide what the actual shade of the dress was. Whether the dress was blue and black or gold and white became a huge internet sensation in 2015. The dress was originally designed by Roman fashion designers. The dress sparked hot debate online and revealed differences in human color perception. But one thing is clear: thrift shops and their items are quite capable of causing viral sensations on the internet. Everyone wishes to find something valuable while scanning through a thrift shop, but not everyone is lucky to find great stuff. And none are as lucky as this man from Texas who bought a nondescript dresser from a garage sale. The 3-drawer dresser was available for just $100. It had a marble top and a fine finishing. When the man and his friend tried to load the dresser onto the vehicle, they heard metal sounding from inside it. Upon investigating, they discovered a secret sealed section at the bottom drawer which contained a whole bunch of precious items ranging from gold coins to diamonds and emerald jewelry. It also had Civil War memorabilia and military dog tags. Even though the dresser now belonged to this person, he didn't feel it was right to keep these items. They contacted the estate executor, the son of the original owner of the dresser, who remembered the dresser from his grandparents' house but had no idea about the secret drawer shelf. A vase with a human face is not the only scary thing sold out there. We also found some terrifying stuffed toys being sold in a flea market. This looks like someone stole a pair of human dentures and jammed them into a cuddly rabbit. Not this only, but we also found a teddy bear with a meaty tongue on the left and a feral skeletal maw on the right. Then there's a drunken teddy bear. A thrift shop had a vintage battery-operated picnic bear, but he looked really scary, like a hungover creature with a bottle and a glass in hand. Look at this piggy bank, which comes at a price of $5.99, which looks deeply unsettling in the way it's designed, pulling down her classy blue dress to reveal an enormous coin slot in the center of her chest. While having a piggy for a piggy bank sounds amazing, making it in a way that seems more for adults than for children is quite baffling. If we talk about buying shoes, a thrift shop would be the last place someone would consider. There's something off about the thought of wearing shoes that were worn by someone else and no one knows for how long. A pair of sandals at a shop was made by gluing an array of gemstones to the shoe's wooden soles. Wearing such a thing would be so uncomfortable, and walking around in such footwear is seriously out of the question. A bizarre ornament once spotted among a bunch of random tat in a Goodwill thrift store was a combination of a seahorse and a corn cob. Though we couldn't find much use for such an item, being in a thrift shop meant it was owned by someone. Why would someone think of designing and then building such an item? An interesting item found in such shops are diaries. Gives you insight about the lives of others, maybe about someone's love story or career struggle. But one shopper got a bit too much information after purchasing this nondescript notebook from a local thrift store. This turned out to be a poop diary, where the previous owner was keeping a record of the days on which he was able to poop or not poop. Poor girl, she spends money on such a non-interesting and useless information-filled thing. A girl, thinking she found a decorative hanging, bought a hornet's nest at a local antique mall for $35. She didn't realize it was a hornet nest until much later. but looking at how common it is for hornets to make a nest here and there, it was not that bad of a deal. Since hornets are territorial animals, hanging an empty decoy nest would mean that hornets are not going to make a nest anywhere near the house, a mistake that saved her from the annoying creatures. Another confusing item, even more than the seahorse corn, is a sculpture with a pistol riding a unicorn, along with a kitty in between. This just doesn't make any sense. As bizarre as it looks, it's hard to believe that this can be real and not just photoshopped. But what is not photoshopped is this eye contact making chair. This piece of woodworking holy seat was found at a garage sale, but then again I doubt you'd be interested in having this at home or offering the guest to sit on it. Maybe no one would, and that's how it ended up being here for sale. While thrift shops have so many bizarre items, you can still find a lot of useful stuff at a minimal price. And this is the reason we still love shopping at such street shops every now and then.